Greetings and welcome back to Grow Moringa Farms in Plant City, Florida. I'm Kendrick Henry, your local USA moringa farmer. I'd love to show you around the property that we have here in Plant City so that way you can see some of the projects that we have going on this summer season, 2024. This right here is where I take my afternoon naps, and it's a beautiful, shady area right under this big, nice oak tree where we also keep some of our moringa trees growing in pots. Here you can see several thousand moringa trees sprouting now in these large 15 to 30 gallon pots. They were planted about 30 days or so ago, and I've been feeding them with our moringa biostimulant. They're almost ready to be cut back, so that way we can harvest those microgreens. And also, they're almost ready to be shipped in the mail. The ones that I planted about 60 days ago have already been shipping out into the mail now for the last few weeks. I've also already cut them back so that way they can begin to regrow all new stems. You can see here that cutting is allowing it to resprout all new stems. This is a trick that you can perform on your moringa trees to help keep them bushy. Here's about 10,000 seedlings sprouting now here in these pots. They're all starting to come back from the most recent cutting. I'm making sure that they stay watered and also fed with our moringa biostimulant. Now you can use the biostimulant on any plants. You can see it's already gotten a really good result for our purslane here in the pots. I like to plant purslane in the pots because it's a succulent and it helps to keep the soil moist, especially during this hot, dry season in Florida, just before the rains start. I've also been able to pick up a few loads of soil. So we have lots of composted soil, and I offer composted soil for buyers on our Facebook marketplace. So we have visitors come in every day just to get in a few loads of soil. It's actually USDA certified organic soil right down the street. And this is our greenhouse with over 3,000 moringa seedlings sprouting now. I can see the difference between this side and this side, and that's mostly because the sun comes in from this side. So these babies stay a little bit more shady. It can be really intense right now, so I'm starting to just step up the watering, and I've already cut all of these back already once before. So all of the green growth that you see is brand new. When you cut the trees back, they send the energy back down into the roots, and they come back up with even more stems. A lot of these trees have 2 to 3 stems now. And the root systems are big enough for me to also ship these trees in the mail as well. This is a beautiful example of how you can grow moringa in an intensive method in a small space. Start growing moringa trees in a greenhouse, just like this. Let's go and see some of the other parts of the farm. I'm going to give you a quick little tour of Grow Moringa Farms. We have a lot of other projects that are also underway, like this little mushroom log bed that I want to get some mushrooms growing in. I'm going to inoculate these stumps with mushrooms. We also have our compost bins, compost piles, and also a beautiful banana circle. This beautiful banana circle is also surrounded with tropical spinach like chaya. It's a beautiful pollinator as well. I keep this around the banana trees just to help bring more pollinators into this local area. We also have several raised beds that go all the way down to the end of the driveway here. It includes a promenade of moringa trees that go all the way down. There's 10 raised beds here that are in the middle of transition because it's summertime, but we top it with moringa on one end, and then we put a fruit tree or something else on the other end. Like this example here is a beautiful citrus, like a lemon. And we also have a plumeria just behind that. And then just behind that, we have cassava. And these raised beds were very, very productive over the wintertime. They had lots of lettuce. And then we have a promenade of also more bananas, figs, fig tree. And we're continuing to expand out the farm with other products and availabilities. We're finding out exactly what varieties of bananas that we have, so that way we can propagate them, share them, and also just categorize them correctly. I'll get under here. I just ate a beautiful avocado. I had a little bit of breakfast, get some fats, some protein, some oils in my system. I'm actually making some moringa tea now as well. But I wanted to come out and get you this quick little tour of our field, as we also showcase some of the things that are in transition. We're going to be gathering seeds from a lot of the lettuces that we're growing in this area. We're going to be capturing a lot of the seeds. We even have some watermelons, of course, that we compost from some of our pickups. And we're composting it right here in this huge hole right by these bananas. And these old watermelons compost pile is going to help feed this banana circle to where maybe soon they'll be popping out more flowers. See how we have cassava lined up at the end of each one of these raised beds? Now, about a month or 2 months ago, I planted out a Moringa microgreens kit and put it in this raised bed. Now, this raised bed is popping with like 10, 20, 30 Moringa trees. Same thing here. We've got a nice mulberry tree on the end of this thing, this raised bed here, and I'm looking to see if I can grab one. I sure can. Oh, here we go. Yes, got myself a beautiful mulberry. And you definitely want to check to see if there's anything on it. And there are lots of little ants, but it's all good. A little extra protein. Never hurt anybody. That's why I love foraging and taking a walk out in the farm early morning before the sun gets really hot. Actually, right after I make this video, I'm going to go out and I'm going to harvest pretty much mostly the rest of the field. You can see all the raised beds here. We also started to weed the trees, all the big oak trees, because inside here we have lots of turmeric and ginger. This particular raised bed is actually white turmeric. We also have lots of little herbs like holy basil, kale, lots of different types of kale. As we're coming into the full summer season, it just hasn't rained yet, so it's been really, really dry. And this raised bed is pretty much coming to the end of the season. It's all good because thankfully it's the start of Moringa season. And so we have lots of beautiful big Moringa trees on the front of our property here, 2.5 acres in Plant City, that we're about to close on with the help of the members from the Grow Moringa Collective. That's right. We all work together to purchase this property through private lending. It's a beautiful thing to work together in a team and have an agricultural collective of others that share the same goals. This is another raised bed of turmeric. We have lots of turmeric coming up here. We're really excited for this next season because we're going to be able to incorporate our own fresh turmeric powder in some of our special Moringa blends. Now, come into the little hedgerow where I grow Moringa intensively just on the edge of this beautiful oak tree. It's almost like a little maze where you can walk through. I call it the rays of sunshine. As the sun comes shining in here, you can walk through this meandering pathway to be able to go in and out of Moringa trees that I've also just stuck lots of cuttings. Look at this. I stuck a Moringa cutting in this hedge condition right here, and it's already starting to sprout. That's because we're actually standing on several feet of oak mulch, and it stays really nice and moist right here. Lots of beautiful moringa trees coming up on the ends. I've got lots of big moringa trees on the end of each one of these raised beds here in the meandering forest. As we continue to go out into the field, we have a 2.5 acre property here, but have really only planted on a ½ acre so far. We actually have over 50,000 trees on a ½ acre, over 50,000 moringa trees on a ½ acre. These were some of the first moringa trees that I planted right here on this property, and they're starting to come back really well. We had a very mild winter, and today my goal is to get a lot of these greens harvested and on the racks, because I can start to see the stress of the heat and the drought really starting to thin these trees out. So I want to be able to use these greens and our teas and blends before they turn yellow. The whole entire goal of this operation is to harvest moringa greens when they're green. And so here is a row of 10,000 seedlings sprouting now in the middle of the moringa orchard. I intercropped 10,000 seedlings in the middle of each one of my orchard rows. So this is the first row of 10,000 that's starting to come up. Then we have a line of orchard trees. These are the large trees that are spread out about 10 feet apart. And I have a double row so that way we can walk right through the middle. It's a stagger, so that way it's like a tic-tac-toe checkerboard, where I have one large tree here and 10 feet down, I have a large moringa tree there. But just right here, I have another large moringa tree, and 10 feet down from that is another large moringa tree. So that way it staggers in this row. As we continue to go down in this ½ acre plot of moringa where we have 50,000 moringa trees, here's another 10,000 moringa trees sprouting on this row here. I began sprouting these seedlings April 1st. Here it is, June 1st. So 2 months, 60 days, and we already have 10,000 seedlings sprouting in this row. That makes it 20,000. Here's another orchard style row of moringa trees as we continue to go down this beautiful polycropped moringa agroforestry system. I'm beginning to bring other things into the system, like beautiful pineapples. And we also have a Vitex laurel that's beginning to come back, a beautiful pollinator. We also have chaya. We also have Mexican sunflower here that's starting to come back from a recent cutting. And even other places throughout the farm, I have also planted pigeon peas, a nitrogen fixer. But this beautiful row here that I'm beginning to get cut back, and I'm beginning to care for the trees and weed a little bit, remove some of the soil away from the root systems, is really starting to come in really nicely. Wait until the rains start. That's going to transform this entire orchard into a beautiful food forest. I was cutting late last night, and we're going to get it going today after I get all these trees cut back. And I just wanted to share with you some of the updates here at Grow Moringa Farms. This beautiful summer season is going off without a hitch. Other than the fact that it's a little dry, I'm really enjoying spending lots of time with my members inside of the Grow Moringa Collective members area. I meet with members every day at 3 p.m. So if you'd like to get on a call with me, meet me inside of the Grow Moringa Collective members area, where I can teach you how to do all of these things step by step by step. Here's another 10,000 seedlings that are sprouting. That's 30,000 seedlings now so far in the field that you've seen. As we go to another row, we have other orchard style trees with pineapples and sweet almond. These trees are separated at about 10 feet apart each in their respective lines. So we have a moringa tree here, and 10 feet down, we have another large moringa tree. But then in the middle, we have a Mexican sunflower about 5 feet away from that, and then 10 feet away, or another 5 feet away from that Mexican sunflower, is another moringa tree. And it staggers here. Here you can see one of the pigeon peas is starting to come up. right there. So I'm starting to bring in other crops and other beneficial pollinators to this system, so that way it's not just a monocropped moringa field. I'm really excited for what's about to come because we're also going to plant berries and other nitrogen fixers, ground covers, grasses, and more crops that we can use that will benefit and companion very well with moringa. Here's another 10,000 seedlings of moringa that are popping up. That's 40,000 seedlings so far that you've seen here in this half-acre plot at Grow Moringa Farms in Plant City. If you'd like to come and see this operation for yourself, I'm open 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Monday through Friday, where we have beautiful moringa trees, not only for sale, but also you pick. You can come and pick your own moringa greens here with us. Here's another orchard-style row. You can see double row going all the way down with large moringa trees beginning to come in every 10 feet on the line. And just 4 feet over is another row with moringa trees, 10 feet, just staggered like a tic-tac-toe. And I have this very well documented inside of my book. If you go to growmoringa.com, you can pick up my book, Grow Moringa, The Ultimate Guide. Very, very affordable. And it teaches you all the methods of growing and phasing your moringa farm. You can see here is another 10,000 seedlings popping up. That makes it 50,000 seedlings now coming up here at Grow Moringa Farms. And it's only been 2 months since they've sprouted. And good news, I just planted out the last row, the very last row right now of moringa trees here. So I've been able to get this cut back. You can see we have turmeric under the raised beds, under the trees. So we grow turmeric under the big oak trees, and now we have a whole nother brand new row of moringa trees coming up. I've been able to transplant and replant some of these moringa trees and find them a new home here at Grow Moringa Farms. You can start to see the double row where we have a moringa tree, and 5 feet down and over is another moringa tree. But you can see straight down that line is another moringa tree 10 feet down. And in the middle of that is a beautiful chaya, 5 feet away from this moringa tree. Same thing on this side. We have a moringa tree, and then I'll have a pollinator or something right here, but then we have a beautiful walkway that I created right down the middle of the field. This helps to open up the farm so we can walk through the middle and also possibly transport materials. And then we have another continuation of our moringa orchard where we have a large moringa tree, and then 10 feet down we have another tree. And it's the same thing on this side, just staggered like a tic-tac-toe board. So we do have a little bit of irrigation going on here just because it is really hot right now. So we do have a little drip line, and I actually need to get this row fed. This is the last row that was flattened, and so it has lots of mulch. And that mulch is actually robbing some of these little babies of nutrients. So I'm gonna go ahead and give these babies some food. But here on the back end of the farm, you can start to see the development of the rows. There's 10,000. Nice little back shot of the orchard. And I've been able to come out here also and get this planted out with turmeric. This plant was planted last summer with turmeric, and now it's all coming up. What's cool is that I organized and separated this entire raised bed to be green turmerics. So all the turmerics in this bed are all super green, believe that or not. And I'm trying to keep these other trees alive, like this avocado tree that was planted a few weeks ago. It's really hot and dry right now, so I'm trying to keep it watered. And looks like the mulberry's doing okay because she was planted last year, so she's coming back okay. But the 10,000 seedlings, they made it. They're making it through this heat. I've been able to water them for the first month pretty much consistently, and then I've just been kind of letting them go, maybe watering once a week since then. And they're thriving. They're pushing their roots down. Moringa is super resilient to drought, which is one of the reasons why we grow it. Got a nice little citrus tree here. And that is pretty much the tour of Grow Moringa Farms. And would love for you to Either come by and visit between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. Monday through Saturday. If you would like to order, you can go to growmoringa.com and grab yourself fresh and local Moringa products. If you order over $98 worth of Moringa products, it's actually free shipping. And we also meet every single day, Monday through Friday, inside the Grow Moringa Collective members area. So that way you can learn all of this information with consistency and support from me and the other members as well. So thank you very much for coming by and visiting and learning more about how you could make extra income from Moringa. If you have any unused space, land, if you have some property that you'd like to develop, please contact me. I'd love to help you to develop your Moringa operation. Thank you very much for coming by and joining us. I'm Kendrick Henry, your local USA Moringa farmer. Peace and love.